let's get into kind of one of the things that I saw right away. I'm more of a technical guy. All right. So when you want to talk about technique, I got you on that. I got you on that for sure. Scheme, I'm kind of hit and miss a little bit. All right. So here we go. We got some scheme going on. Make sure everybody can see this. Yeah, y'all see the 49ers looking good right there. I kind of like these road uniforms. All right. Anyways, what are we seeing here? All right. I'll let it run through first, the play, and you kind of see it. And boom. And so I see the play, and I'm like, well, how did Brandon Ayuk get so wide open? So I watch it again. Boom. And then I'm like, well, damn, they only had 2 guys in route. So this is like max protection to the max, right? You got the running back in the block. You got doubles everywhere. You got Kyle Juszczyk here in the block. All right, so this is max protection with 2 guys in route. So essentially, when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys rushing, that means you got 6 guys out in coverage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to cover 2. All right, now if this is quarters, all right, which like Sherman said, he said red 4. All right, you got a switch release here. So this was the first thing I noticed, the switch release. Typically, if we're playing the percentages, all right, typically, when you see a switch release with the receivers, it's kind of rare you get an outbreaking route. All right. So a lot of times you got one guy coming here on a post, you'll get a switch release, but then he'll come post 2 and he'll just come off of this guy's ass. He'll kind of come behind him. All right. And ideally what they want to do is take the safety's eyes. Now, the tough thing for here is, and it makes it look, I think, way worse than what it is. There's only 2 guys en route. So he's seeing him and it's like, boom, his eyes right here, directly on Deebo Samuel. People think he's reading the quarterback. I don't think he's reading the quarterback. I think he's looking right at Deebo. And then boom. All right, now he kind of like, okay, I'm kind of squeezing this. Let me get my eyes back to the quarterback. Good job by the quarterback too, eyeing Deebo Samuel. So he takes everybody to Deebo, at least everybody that's eyeing the quarterback. He's doing his job, catching him coming across the field. So now you end up with 1-on-1 at the top. And one thing I think that Kyle Shanahan does a really good job of is identifying quarters and then having his quarters beaters in there. All right. So clearly, unless he just flat out busted this coverage, this safety here, unless he just flat out busted the coverage, this is a good job of getting the safety's eyes here with this crossing here. And now I got 1-on-1 with a corner outside. Typically in quarters, that corner is going to be outside. So any in-breaking route, there should be a window to throw into. So even if Patrick Peterson doesn't slip here, there still should be a window for him to throw that ball into. Now, obviously Pat P slipped, so now it's even bigger window, all right? And he's kind of standing there and catching it. Boom. Now, what can we learn from Pat P, right? Like if you're a defensive back out there or anybody that just kind of wants to understand some of the like rules that we always talk about, all right, no matter what, at the end of the day, all coverage is kind of turning to man, all right? So even if it's zone, at some point, once 2 goes away, which originally he was 1, right? So you got 1, you got 2, all right? But once a guy goes away and he dives in right now, boom. Once he's going away, essentially this is man on Brandon Ayuk, all right? Now, as a defensive back, what I can't do is I can't play into the end zone. Like this is something that we all know. This is something I'm pretty sure Patrick Peterson knows, all right? But maybe he just lost track of where he was. But receivers always want to break their route off right around the 1 to the goal line. So ideally what I would do, and I always say ideally because, hey, it's the NFL. Things happen fast. You got some good players out there. But ideally what you want to do is you want to kind of plant your feet here and, move them a little bit so you're active, but you kind of want to play catch. All right. And playing catch essentially is just this guy running at me. I'm going to play catch and I'm going to dictate his route depth. All right. But what Peterson does is he ends up backing into the end zone. And where does Ayuk makes his break? Right around the 1 to the goal line. So this is typically where they make their break, whether they're going to go out, where they're going to go corner, where they're going to fade, post, in, slant, whatever. It's typically right around here. And I can't let him dictate when he wants to do it. I need to be here, make him make this break earlier than he wants to, and then just flatten that route off. All right. But he didn't. And then he slipped. And then Ayuk's wide open for a touchdown. So great stuff, Brandon Ayuk. And then his buddy patted him on the head like, it's okay. Watch the pat. It's okay, Pat P. You're still the man. You are still the man, Pat P. All right, so there's that right there. Okay. TV commentary says that once the QB is out of the pocket, defenders can push receivers. You can. You definitely can do that. And that is, obviously there's illegal contact, but and that's why they'll say while the quarterback was in the pocket. That's why you hear them say that part. While the quarterback is in the pocket. All right, here we go. We got one more play that I kind of wanted to look into here. All right, and this one is Patrick Peterson. All right, I ain't picking on Pat P. Actually, this was a good play by him. And we got present, share, window, and boom. All right, here we go. So I'm not picking on Patrick Peterson. This is actually a good play by him. Patrick Peterson caught a lot of flack from 49er fans because he said, I got a tail, and I'll let you know about it when I get an interception. I don't know what his tail is, all right, or what it was that he saw that he knew he'd have an opportunity at some point to pick off a pass. But right here, he's squatting on this route. Boom, and he breaks, and he has an opportunity. Like, that was his opportunity for a pick. So I know he's caught a lot of slack. He just dropped it. He dropped it. And when you see the like TV copy replay, you see him. But this is a good job. I mean, he's breaking on it. He's ready. He undercuts the ball, and he just right there. It just goes through his hands. So I guess what could the 49ers have done a little bit better here? All right. I think maybe, and again, it's tough because you could say, oh, man, George Kittle got to give him more at the top of this route here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe hit him with that bum bum. We call it like a rocker step. All right, so if he jabs left, right, and then crosses his face. But also a lot of these things are like timing, so maybe he didn't have time to do that. He just had to get in route. All right, what is this route by Juszczyk? Nope, Juszczyk's going out. All right, so he might just have to kind of get into his route here. So he couldn't give him something at the top. And he just had to kind of flatten that route off, try to get there with speed, and hopefully he slips again. Patrick Peterson slips again. Well, he didn't hear, and he almost had the interception. So I know he's caught a lot of flack from 49er fans because of the there's a tail. And, here's the funny thing about tails. He definitely thought he'd get an interception off of a tail or two or whatever it was. But there could be times on film, and I'll look to see if I find it, where he did jump a route or he did get what he was thinking he would get, and the 49ers shied away from throwing the ball in that direction. So that's something that obviously you won't really see on the TV copy, but I bet there's some plays where he's in position. He thought the 49ers would throw it a certain way, and maybe Brock Purdy was just like, I'm not throwing it there.